y'all know, if you're a married man, shout out to Lyle, or shout out, if you're a married man, you know how this can be. You know how this can be. Your wife will say something that completely throws you off balance, and before you can get your balance, she gone. And then you get your balance, and you just standing there. Well, what is good with you, family? It is your boy Travis Kinley coming back to you with another one. Very glad to be here, very glad to be pushing this episode. It is something that I saw on Facebook recently, but before we go there, it is very fitting for me to give my appreciation to my remarkable wife, Christina. One time, before I became a trucker, I don't know, Christina said something like, oh, I don't feel like making the bed or something like that. She didn't feel like making the bed, or she didn't feel like doing the dishes or something like that. Cause we were on the way to bed. She was like, I don't feel like doing dishes, something like that, right? I don't feel like making the bed. So I was like, no, don't worry about it. Like, I'll say things like, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna lay in it and mess it up again. Don't worry about it. Dishes can wait till later. It don't really matter. It's not that serious. We live here. Like, it doesn't really matter, dude. Nobody's looking. I never forgot this was her response. Like, I'll make jokes like that often, you know, and she'll just blow me off or whatever. But this time her response was a little different. This time her response was, you know, I was like, don't worry about it. And she said something like, you like it clean a lot more than you know. She either said that or something like, you appreciate the cleaning a lot more, you know. You appreciate it being clean a lot more than you know. Something like that. She was like, you appreciate it a lot more than you know. I just thought that was so different that she said that to me, because you never say that. Like, you usually just blow me off. But this time, you're all like, no, you appreciate a lot more than you know. And then she blew me off. Y'all know, if you're a married man, shout out to Lyle, or shout out, if you're a married man, you know how this can be. You know how this can be. Your wife will say something that completely throws you off balance, and before you can get your balance, she gone. And then you get your balance, and you just standing there. Well, I would like to give a public apology to my wife for all of the times I took for granted how clean of a house we have and how difficult it is to keep it that clean. I just got done sweeping and mopping and doing everything else in this truck and trying to keep up with Danielle. Lord, she done spilled a Diet Coke. She bought the Diet Coke, brought it straight to the truck, and then spilled it. I said, Lord. Lord. I just want to give a public apology to my wife for all the times I took for granted how clean our house is and how much work it takes and how hot you get when you're trying to do it. I would like to thank her for all of the value that she adds into the Kinley household on the World Wide Web. And again, I'm sorry for taking it for granted. Because yes, it takes a lot, and I'm just dealing with a truck, right? I'm not dealing with a whole, you know, all the rooms and the kitchen and the this, the that. Okay, I'm just dealing with a truck. And I didn't even do the whole truck. We ran out of paper towels with Diet Coke incident. I totally forgot I needed paper towels from the store. I totally forgot. I don't even remember. I don't know, man. Somebody today, I think it was Cornelius or Delandis, one of y'all said, man, you got the patience of a drug dealer's grandma. So anyway, look, let's get to the point. Let's get to the point, because I want to edit this video. I want to relax. I'm waiting at a shipper, produce shipper. It's one of these. I'll explain it later. I don't want to get that off topic. It's a produce shipper. Maybe I'll talk about produce shippers at another thing, how the process works and why you wait so long. Anyways, I want to talk about the house. Let's talk about family. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about our familial connections, right? I saw on Facebook, I can't read it verbatim because I didn't pull it up before I came today on camera. Somebody said, does anybody else feel awkward whenever you go home? Oh man, this is the one that cut me so deep. You know, I guess because I just love family connection. I love my girls, my bride. I just love what that feels like. But what cut me deep was when they said, does anybody else feel awkward when they go home? And they said, it's like you don't belong there. Oh man. Man. I was like, man, that's tough, dog. If there's any place you ought to feel like you belong, it's when you go home, right? So I really wanted to address that. Home time does not have to feel awkward, but I empathize. Why do I empathize? Because I've felt this feeling before the first time I went home. Let me tell you what happened. You know how it is on your way home. You're working so hard. You're driving your clock out and everything. I mean, you're working as hard as you possibly can. You're ready to get to the house. You can't get this trailer clean fast enough. Then the washout line, it take like an hour and a half at the washout on whatever that is, 20 at 26 or something. I don't remember. Take an hour and a half to Blue Beacon I go to every time when I go that way to the house. And you work to the house, and you pull up at the house and you blow on the air horn, you know, like, woo, daddy's home, ah! It's crazy, right? And then you walk in the house and it feels so unfamiliar. It feels so foreign, right? What happened to me was I did all of that, but when I walked in the house, my desk, where, you know, prior to coming to Prime, I was working on a master's degree, Anderson University. I don't even know why I said that. I was working on a master's degree and I had like a desk and everything. It's really like a really large table, because I would need like laptop room, notebook room, set the Bible, set the book, have everything all open so you can just keep moving on your chair, right? I came home and the table looked nothing like my desk. And you know, before the master, it was like I was just back-to-back degrees, right? Just kept working. I have 2 undergrads and then working on that graduate degree. I was just back-to-back. So like I had spent hours there since we'd moved there. That's like, this is the main place you can find me, sitting right here reading or writing, right? Or on Zoom, you know, because you got to go to class or whatever, because I was an online student, work full-time and go to school. So, you know, if there's any area of the house I identify with, before laying in bed, I identify with my desk. Before sitting in front of a TV, I identify with my desk. I've spent so many hours here, but I walk in and the table looks nothing like my desk. It's got kids stuff on it. It's got coloring books. It felt like I'd got evicted, y'all. It felt like I didn't belong anymore. It felt like I was kicked out. It felt like the most well-traveled area of the house where daddy can be found had been changed into something else. So in a way, for a trucker, it's like, do you not want me to travel here anymore? Or, you know, you just feel so conflicted and so confused, as you know, where, especially for somebody who's becoming a trucker for the first time, you feel so conflicted and so confused. Then I remember that same home time. It was my first home time. So like when I got home, my daughter said something to the effect of, "I'm so glad you're visiting." Gosh, and you know, as you know, again, as a trucker, you're just like, visiting, you know, but she, you know, and you're probably like, oh, she's a kid and yada yada yada. But when you walk in on the table, now you're just feeling kind of sensitive. You're just feeling a little bit off, like, you know. But it wasn't a big deal at my house. You know, me and my wife just talked about it that night after the kids went to bed. And like, I woke up and my desk was my desk again. And thank you again, Christina. I really appreciate that. I appreciate how much you care and how kind you are. I really do. You've been very kind to this young man. Much more than a desk, right? But, so I get that awkward feeling. I do. All right, so I wanted to come to you. Home time doesn't have to feel like that. Home time doesn't have to feel like you don't belong. Home time doesn't have to be awkward, but you have to be intentional to ensure that it doesn't get that way. The first thing that you can do to be intentional to ensure that you do not get that way, that it doesn't feel awkward. Here, we'll put it on the magnet so I don't have to keep picking it up. That's pretty tight. It's like preaching. I got my notes right here. But anyway, the first thing you can do to ensure that it doesn't get awkward, that home time doesn't feel like that, is connect often while you're over the road and allow yourself to miss your family. Now, if you watched Family and Trucking Part 1 or Part 2 or whatever, you remember, you're like, Travis, wait, didn't you tell me to disconnect? Didn't you tell me to go cold in the heart and don't yada, 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 yada? I did not, if you took it that way, if you're saying that, I did not intend to communicate you should be that way all of the time. What I intended to communicate, if I failed to do so the first time, what I intended to communicate was that you should have control over your emotions and turn them on and off like a light switch. That's what I intended to do. Turn them on and off like a light switch. I'm not trying to say it's healthy for it to always be off, but it is healthy to be able to turn it off and, okay, I need to get back to work right now, okay? Turn it on and off like a light switch. Connect often over the road. What do I mean by that? Calling, FaceTiming, text, taking pictures, taking videos. If you got a cool video, you pulled over on one of those scenic areas, FaceTime the kids. Babes, just wanted to show y'all real quick. Oh man, take a picture, send it to your wife 3 days from now. You know, just you smiling, thinking about you, babe. Connect often over the road. Don't allow days to go by without you speaking or FaceTiming or connecting in any way, shape, or form. Of course, this is for those who have family. You're going home to people. You know, if you're going home to an empty house, it's not gonna feel awkward. It's just your own place. So, maybe I'll name this Family and Trucking Part 3. Anyways, connect often while you're over the road, sending those things. And like one thing my wife does, my kids just started gymnastics. My days run together. That was yesterday. My kids just started gymnastics yesterday, and my wife sent me a picture of like them preparing. Like you have to know my girls, but when they get geared up, it's a whole thing. It's a whole holiday. Like Christmas is a whole day. Gymnastics is not for 1 hour. It's a whole day. They get geared up, right? So they get dressed and you got to change clothes and figure out what you're going to wear. It's my first day of gymnastics, right? So Christina was like sending me pictures, look at them. Oh, look what Addison changed her clothes. And I was like, oh, I like that a lot more. It looked more mature. Addison's my oldest girl. Then took a picture while she was at gymnastics doing her thing. Connect more over the road so when you get home that it's not that awkward feeling. And then the second part of this is allow yourself to miss home. If you connect often while you're over the road, it is going to inevitably cause you to miss being home. It's gonna cause you to miss being home, right? And then if you miss being home, it's not awkward when you get home. It's just a family reunion. You're totally ecstatic. Man, I missed y'all. You're giving lots of hugs. And then you're catching up and talking just like you did on FaceTime, right? Excuse me. So that is one way you can avoid that home time just being like this very awkward situation, okay? Man, I really feel for anybody who feels that way. I really hope this video helps. This is just 3 things that I did, okay? Second way you can avoid your home time being awkward is this. Invite your family into the trucking lifestyle. Now, if you are like me, you cannot, like, I'm not able to take my family over the road with me because I have co-drivers, right? I got Danielle right now, had Darlene, had Doug, and Tamara, right? So, and then I went solo for a while, but then it was like the whole winter thing, and I just knew my girls weren't trying to deal with snow and winter like that. As bad as they say they wanted to deal with snow and winter like that, daddy knows better, okay? So, nevertheless, connect your family into the trucking lifestyle. How can I connect my family into the trucking lifestyle? When you're going shopping for the truck, go with your family. Let your family go shopping with you. And it's gonna be a little weird at first. They're gonna be like, oh, what about this? Is this a great idea? And like, if you're me, you may say, no, I have a Peterbilt refrigerators are kind of small. I really have to get a lot of different things, so I don't want to get this one big thing because that's gonna take up a ton of room, and then I'll be in Walmart in 2 days. You know what I mean? So then okay, and then they're learning the trucking lifestyle. Okay, so we really have to think and be intentional whenever we go to Walmart, right? You get home from the grocery store, start putting that stuff away. Allow them to help you put it away, right? Sometimes after my laundry's done, sometimes my wife catches it out of the dryer before I do, and she'll like make my bed for me. Like, I really appreciate that. Thank you again, Christina. So I really like connect them to the trucking lifestyle. And then it doesn't feel as awkward because they almost feel what you do a little bit. As much as they can, they feel what you do, and then you get to experience that as a family unit. You know what I'm saying? Another thing we've done at my house before is, instead of going to get my truck washed, we'll wash it in the front yard, in the backyard rather. We'll wash it in the backyard, right? Which, depending on what state you live in and what the weather is like, okay, that can be really cool and fun, or that can be one of those things where everyone should wear their bathing suit, right? Just saying. So, and of course, you know, if you wash it at your house, like, I don't have long brushes. Like, some people have bought the long brushes to hit the top of the tractor. I didn't do that. It was really about the family. It wasn't really about getting my truck clean. Now, the trucker part of me was like, I really want my truck to be clean. I don't want to be doing this. We're not doing anything. But I had to keep, like, I was a much more rookie than the rookie that I am right now, but I had to keep reminding myself, like, it's not about the truck being clean. Connect your family with your lifestyle, okay? What's another thing? Oh, so you know how it is. You can't get no good food. You can get good food over the road, but you can't get your wife cooking. You can't get your mama cooking. You can't get that home cooking over the road unless you cook it yourself. You know what I mean? That's cool and all, but you know, y'all know how it is. You miss home, right? One thing, I have something on my lips, man. Weird. Y'all was gonna let me have, what is this? Y'all was gonna let me sit here and talk to y'all. Y'all ain't right, cuz. All right, look, so one thing my wife will do for me, my wife will make hibachi at the house. Instead of us going in to grab hibachi, she will make it at the house, and that jump be banging, dog. She bought a yum yum sauce too, so we can have a yum yum sauce. Sometimes we get sushi, that jump be banging, dog. We'll do the broccoli, you know what I'm saying? Broccoli, no cheese. Just eat broccoli, y'all. You don't have to put cheese on. Don't ruin broccoli putting cheese on it. Anyway, she'll make hibachi and then put it in the little, they make these rectangular aluminum. I don't know if you've seen me cooking them before. They make these rectangular aluminum kind of shaped things like this, you know, that you can bake in. She'll just put it in that, wrap it in aluminum foil, and I'll take it with me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, stuff like that, you're connecting them with the trucking lifestyle because you're not prepping alone. You're prepping as a family. So we're getting geared up for daddy to go back over the road, right? So that's another thing that we do. What's another thing? Not laundry thing. I don't know, but you get the gist, right? Allow them to be involved with you as you prep. Cleaning. Oh, one time, I have a TV now. I didn't have a TV for a long time when I was trucking because I'm not really a TV watcher, but then I got on this whole YouTube thing, and then I got friends on YouTube, and I was like, I really want to watch my friends on YouTube, but I got tired of holding my phone. My shoulders started hurting, and then y'all texting, so then I got to stop to this, and then text, and then turn it back to the YouTube, and then you text me back, so then I got to stop, right? So I got the TV, so I can watch YouTube, and every now and then I watch Netflix. Otherwise, it just stay there and swing every time I hit the brakes or hit the gas. Anyway, me and Addison hooked that TV. I say, like, Addison is 6 years old. She was 5 when we did it. Me and Addison put that TV up there, and, like, she really worked with me. Like, in one part, I don't know if I could have, somebody about to wreck. In one part, I don't know if I could have done it without Addison. Like, she was helping, she was holding the TV up while I put the doggone screws in the mount, okay? Connect your family with this lifestyle, and that will also help. So first way, connect often over the road and allow your heart to miss home. I'm not saying leave the switch on all the time, but I am saying allow your heart to miss home so when you come back, family reunion. Second thing you can do to avoid it becoming awkward, invite your family to become part of the trucking lifestyle. Part of the trucking lifestyle, taking the dirty stuff off the truck when I get home, cleaning it, putting it back on the truck, going to the grocery store, prepping, cleaning, all of that stuff. Allow family to be a part of it. And lastly, communicate with your spouse things to help you feel like you still live there. I told you about the table, my desk, whenever I got home. Just talk to your wife about things that she can help you do to help you feel like you still live there. It's already so weird, right? One thing my wife did, this was like the second time I got home, right? We were just learning how to do this, okay? One thing, she moved her side of the bed. No, she moved the bed, right? But then she moved her side of the bed while moving the bed. So it's like I came home to a whole room change. Totally cool, right? Who cares? I love when she does that because it's like brand new room every time you come to the house. But then you moved your side of the bed to be closer to the door, and I was like, right? It just made me feel so weird. It's like I've already created this new normal in a tractor laying down back here. So when I come home, I almost just need the consistency. Back then I was a company driver. I'm only gonna be here for a few days. So I don't wanna come home to something that feels new and foreign. because then it's just so weird. I just wanted to come home to something that was just comfortable and familiar and regular. You know what I mean? And that is it. You know what I mean? So communicate with your spouse, your loved ones, mom, dad, whatever it is, about things that can help you feel like you still live there, right? If you still live with mom and dad, I'm not knocking you, man. If you're not married, dude, live with your parents, yo. Save your money, dog. Save your money to actually buy a house. Don't rent an apartment just because you feel like, since I'm 21 years old, I ought not. Dude, if your parents will let you chill at the house, chill at the house. Because anyways, if you still live with your parents, communicate with your parents like, man, mom, dad, whoever it is, like, this whole trucking thing is really weird. And sometimes when I come home, it feels like I don't live here. And here's like a couple things. I think they're real simple things, but I think it'll make me feel like I'm at home whenever I come home. You know what I mean? I really felt some type of way when I read this Facebook post, so much so that I wrote these notes in my phone like, man, you really need to put this on camera. Cause that's deep, man. To feel like you don't belong when you go to the house, man. That's deep. I remember how hurt I was when I got home and the table was all weird. Like it just felt like it hit deep. I was like, golly, man. It felt like y'all moving on without me or something, man. So, but it don't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be like that at all. Connect over the road. Allow your heart to miss your family. When you get to the house, allow your family to become a part of that lifestyle. And then lastly, just communication, man. Communication. This is something that made me feel some type of way. You know, you move my car all the way in the back under the trees and the bird's been pooping on it. Can we please keep my car somewhere where we actually care about my car even though I'm not here? You know what I mean? You don't have to say it with that tone. Y'all feel what I'm saying? All right, so anyways, still waiting on this produce. Been here all day. If you're a trucker, you already know what the business is. Is what it is. The rate is great, but the miles are not extremely high, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It'll start my week off pretty strong, so the revenue's there. Truck payments paid after this first load of the week, so I'm like, whatever. Pretty strong weeks. Last week was a strong week. Grossed about $11,900, almost $12,000 to the business. This week, tomorrow is the last of the pay period, tomorrow at 4 p.m. And I grossed 86. I grossed $8,600. However, I kept the miles low by doing so. And you know, if you're a business person, keeping the miles low means keeping the expenses down. It's like grossing a pretty good amount while not having to use the lights in the building or something like that, right? So so my check is actually the same as when I grossed 12,000 last week. It's kind of funny. That's how good on the miles I was. So great, that's great. This next week we'll see what happens, man. Just working, living, and we're accomplishing goals, financial goals at the house, man. I miss my girls, to be honest with you. My oldest daughter was recently had her first Harley experience with me, and that was fun. That was something I've been dreaming of for a long time, to be honest with you. You know, if you're a rider, you know what I'm talking about. That's something you dream of for a long time. You got a kid that can't ride yet. And then you can finally let him ride. Your wife says yes. You doggone modify the motorcycle. You get everything right. So that's super cool. Anyways, probably going to go home soon. Take a little home time, take a break, and come on back out. Come on back out. So, I'm going to check out. We ain't talking about nothing no more. Listen, find you somebody to love. If it's your family, I want you to connect with your family right now. I want you to shoot a text and an email. I'll be sending my emails to my wife. Like right now, I'm like 3 hours away, 3 hours time difference from my wife. So I might shoot an email or something. Connect with your family. I want you to do so right now. Find you somebody to love. I love y'all so much. Don't forget, it is not about what you believe. It is why you believe it. Now live free.